Joshua, you've been in the military, you've been in the White House and administration, you've advised the president, you've interacted with the agencies and officials and countries from all over the world, you've interacted with industrial leaders and commercial leaders from America and all over the world as well. You've been trained up in a lot of areas. You're a vet from this, a vet from that, a vet from this. What have you synthesized, my friend? What have you synthesized at this point that feels like it's new, or something that you've learned, or what your style has evolved into? You know, how have this all compounded to make the new Joshua Steinman? And just share a little bit of that for our listeners so that they can gain some insights from your experience.
It all comes down to people that are willing to take risks and take initiative. Everything comes down to that. Like, people. I went to a training course once, and again, won't go into detail. Essentially, they were putting the students, they put us through an incredible amount of stress, and then confronted us with a bunch of sort of gibberish. And at the end of the course, they asked us, did you see a pattern in this information that was presented to you? And most people raised their hands. I did not, but most people raised their hands. And what they said was that the human mind wants to see patterns everywhere, wants to see order everywhere, wants to see a guiding hand everywhere, and cannot handle the chaos. And what you must take away from that is that at the end of the day, it's people driving almost everything. And lots of folks want there to be some shadowy cabal or good cabal or this or that. Really, it's just people taking action. And that can be both disheartening to some, but heartening to others. And I hope it's heartening to your listeners, to the people that are listening to us talk right now, because what it means is you can intelligently start experimenting and acting and taking steps to improve your life. And once you've done that, improve other people's lives. And you literally will have a positive impact. You can actually affect these things. On the door to my office in my White House office, and I gave this to every person that came to work for me. I had this line from this movie, and I grew up in the CT counterterrorism world. So it's a great film. Not going to say anything else about whatever's going on right now. But it's this film called Zero Dark 30. And the manager gathers the Bin Laden hunting unit team in a room. It's dramatized. I don't know if this ever happened in real life. He says, listen up, people. There's no working group coming to the rescue. There's no task force on some other floor. It's just us. Printed that out, put it to the door. Last thing I looked at every single night. Made sure it was up in every single one of my people's cubicles so that they looked at it every single day. If you don't like what you see happening in the world, it's up to you to make it better. It's up to you to make yourself better, to make your family better, make your children better, make your colleagues better, start something new that makes the world better. You know, we've got friends that have, been under a lot of created movies, books. You did this. You wrote a book. And it was because you saw something and you said, I'm going to take action. And the whole world is like that. I won't get into details, but there are major policy initiatives that we did under the last administration that, I kid you not, were like me and two members of my team sitting in the office, and we were like, what? We should really do X. And you go out, and we got authorization for it, and sure enough, it has a cascading positive reaction on things. And that's the story. That's the story of the world. It's the story of history. And so understanding that and not allowing people to make you think nothing you can ever do about it. Like, just sit back and, you know, eat the bugs and watch the TV screen or something. Don't do it. The world is out there. It's an amazing place.
Joshua, I really appreciate that, man. It is such a great sentiment. It's one thing that people forget. My mom oftentimes says, "Oh, history will work itself out in the end." Mom, men, people, women have to take action in order for history to work itself out in the end. And when you finally get to the point where you look around and you realize that there is no cavalry coming, there is no special task force that you're talking about. There is no one else who's working on this. And if you want to make the change, you got to do it. It is at once terrifying and empowering because I guess it has to be kind of like when your dad dies, which, gratefully hasn't happened to me just yet, where you realize, man, I really am on my own. I'm on my own. There's no one there to save me. There's no one there to help me. There's no one there to even guide me in that way anymore. You just got to go for it, man. You just got to go for it. And all the concepts that we've talked about today, personnel is policy, personnel is productivity, personnel is profitability, personnel is your entire thing. The reservoirs of stored up energy, action to orient, OODA-ing the OODA, all these things, when you combine them into a coherent personal philosophy, you get somebody like Joshua Steinman here, who's had impact on the world that will go on beyond his time in the White House and beyond his days. And hopefully with this new project that you're starting here and this new startup, you can prevent some tragedies out there in the world and make some money along the way, by the way, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. And so, Joshua, I really appreciate you taking this time and talking to me. I know I've learned a lot. I know that my audience has learned a lot. We're going to chop this bad boy up to all these little bits of wisdom that you dropped, and we're going to blast them out all over the internet over the next few weeks and months here too. So I appreciate that. Thanks so much for taking the time. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I held off and I waited, and here we are, and it was worth the wait, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on. Just thanks, dude.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks for your leadership. Thanks for being a guy that rogered up and, did it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I'm trying to inspire others to do that. You've inspired me in much the same way. Guys, go out there and take some action. Gals, do the same. Did I just say gals? Women, do the same thing. What am I, boomer? Do the same thing. Just take action. Get out there and make change. And if you even don't know where you're going, that's fine. Just start. Aim for that fuzzy picture and just go. It will become higher resolution as you take action. And that is really the key to all of this. Joshua, tell everybody where they can find you so that they can glean some more of this wisdom and watch your very public display of starting a new company.
Yeah. So it's at Joshua Steinman, my full name, Twitter. And then, Substack is Steinman, just my last name, .substack.com. Super simple. And I'm out there. DMs are open. Feel free to, if you want the reading list, I'll send along the. So
what books do you recommend, sir? That's the number one question that we all get.